AI can write code now. And not just a little, it's fast, it's convincing, and a lot of the time, it actually works. You run it, and it does exactly what you expected. And that's exactly where the problem begins. Because in real-world engineering, working code is often the most dangerous kind of code. Today, I want to break down why code that works can actually be a huge risk, especially when it's generated by AI, and I'll explain this from a real-world, production perspective. Let's start with the first issue. Bugs silently making it to production. AI-generated code usually works for simple cases. You test it quickly, it passes, and everything seems fine. So what happens? You trust it. And your code review becomes less strict. Now imagine this. Edge cases are not handled. Boundary conditions break the logic. The system crashes when data grows. These kinds of problems almost never show up in small tests. If you test with 10 or 100 records, everything looks perfect. But production is different. You have thousands, sometimes millions of records. Unexpected inputs. Real users doing unpredictable things. And that's when things break. Suddenly. And you're left wondering, wait, this was working before. But the truth is, it was always broken. You just didn't hit the breaking point yet. This happens all the time in real systems. Second issue, design collapse. AI is very good at local optimization. It gives you code that works right now, for this specific moment. But it does not think about your entire system architecture. So what happens? The same logic gets duplicated in multiple places. Naming becomes inconsistent. Responsibilities become unclear. At first, everything still works. But later, when requirements change, and they always do, things get messy. You start asking questions like, where is this logic used? Why do I have the same code in 5 different places? Eventually, your system turns into spaghetti code. And the worst part? You reach a point where you're afraid to touch it. It works, but any change might break something else. That's technical debt. Third issue, security risks. AI can generate insecure code without any warning. For example, no protection against SQL injection. Weak or missing authentication and authorization. Hard-coded API keys or secrets. And again, this code works. That's what makes it dangerous. Because no one notices. It passes tests. It gets deployed. And then one day, it becomes a real incident. Data leaks. Unauthorized access. Working code caused a security problem. That's not hypothetical, it happens. Fourth issue, performance problems. AI does not consistently optimize for performance. It might give you an O, in superscript 2, solution without hesitation. With small data, it runs instantly. So again, it looks fine. But when your data scales, everything slows down dramatically. You also see patterns like unnecessary API calls, redundant database queries. Individually, they seem harmless. But together, they degrade your entire system. And once users increase, your system starts to struggle. This is a very common failure pattern. When you rely on AI-generated code without truly understanding it, you don't know why it works. You can't fix it when it breaks. You can't adapt it to new requirements. And more importantly, you stop learning. In the short term, you move faster. But in the long term, you hit a wall. Your growth as an engineer slows down or even stops. So here's the conclusion. AI is a tool that writes code. But it is not an engineer that takes responsibility. Which means, working code does not mean correct code. Working code might just mean you haven't hit the failure case yet. So what actually matters going forward? Your ability to evaluate code. Can you explain why it works? Can you analyze its time complexity? Can you judge whether the design is good? In the age of AI, writing code becomes easier. But understanding code becomes more valuable. The real skill is not writing. It's seeing through the code. That's all I have for you today. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and leave a comment. See you in the next video.